And we are back on the Rodriguez Show. We have our first guest. Well, actually, our second guest for this episode for our first long interview guest. He's been on the show before, but now he is Adam et al. How's it going, man?
How you doing, man? Good to be here. It's been a while. It's been like a year, huh?
Yeah, you're one of our first FaceTime guests at the beginning of the pandemic. So now it's been a year and a half almost. Yeah, it's been a long pandemic and a long time as well, you know.
Yep.
And that's actually one of the reasons why you couldn't be here today. You know, you had a little bit of a cough, but everything's going well so far, like you mentioned.
Yep. But you know, we're just playing it safe.
Yeah.
Playing it safe. So
just to be safe, better to be safe. You know.
I'm getting in the studio next year though. Guaranteed.
Yeah. All right. Next year. So you can follow him on Instagram at adam.etal, ETAL. He has a new book, Remyth, a Postmodernist Ritual. Available in all bookstores or his website, adametal.soy. And there's links to that in the description. You can see him on screen as well. So one of the first things that I wanted to talk to you about was that since the last time you were here, you had a different name. Now you're just going by Adam et al. What went into the name change?
So, formerly Fame Kills.
Mm-hmm.
So you may or may not know. And I had been in my mind. If you hear my dog, I apologize.
Oh, it's okay.
That's Fern. He's wilding. It looks like we got some packages at the door. So I had been toying with the idea of moving on from Fame Kills for a while, for like a couple years now. I just, I pretty much outgrew it. It's funny. I saw like right around the time that I changed my name, I saw Taco from Odd Future.
Yeah.
He changed his social media handles, and he's going by his government now. And like he posted something on Twitter, and it was like, "Why would you do that? Why would you change your name?" And his response was just like, "I outgrew it." And so like I'm like, especially when you have like the blue check or whatever, like, people are like, "Why would you risk all that?" I'm like, it's more important to represent myself in a way that feels authentic to me, you know. And so like I never really cared about those things.
Yeah.
And I would just say that to any artist watching this, like, don't be fooled by the smoke and mirrors of a blue check.
Yeah.
That should not be your goal. But nonetheless, I just it's funny, this poetry book, I was Fame Kills when at the time that I wrote it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's still weird to be like going through that transitional season because the book just came out. But yeah, really, I just outgrew the persona. I was trying to do something with the persona that I personally feel I failed at. Like I was trying to be ironic with a lot of the content that I was making. And it wasn't being received. I don't feel like it was being received like that.
As ironic?
It was being celebrated for like the wrong reasons, I feel like. And like I don't want that to be misinterpreted. Like I'm not grateful for everyone who's listened to the Total Babes or the Wally Worlds or any of that stuff. But yeah, I've just outgrown it. That's one thing. The other thing is like I just want to, like I said, be more authentic. I feel like in my 20s, I spent a lot of time trying to compartmentalize different parts of my life.
Yeah.
Like this is my educator life. This is my rap life. This is when I was in a rock band, this is that life, and all of these different spaces. And it gets really chaotic in my mind. So I wanted to just like fuse everything together and just be that and just be that. And if you accept me for all of these facets of me at once, then that's dope. And if you don't, that's fine too.
Well, I think as somebody on the outside looking in, I think it did symbolize, and to people that do appreciate, your art, it seemed like this is the next step. It is, you outgrew the name, and now we're just like, yeah, this is him putting everything together in one thing. And that was really cool. And so that means to me, the way that you're describing it to me is that you're still going to make music. It's just, you're making it under this name now, which is, and is there, are you heading in a different direction in the music you're making?
Yes and no. Yeah. So the name Adam et al. Is a nod to, et al. Is a Latin phrase that is used in like academia, especially in English, like MLA formatting. because I do teach English at the community college level, and so I just thought it was a way to celebrate that too. Et al. Just basically means everyone and everyone else. So if you're doing research and you have a group of people doing research, like the primary author would be listed, so like Adam,
Mhm.
and then everyone else who contributed to that research would be et al. Just kind of to
Mm.
save time and space. So for me, Adam et al. Is Adam and everybody else. Everybody else is me still. It's all the different parts of me. Like I said, the
Yeah.
poet, like guitar music, like, so I'm still rapping. Like I still love rapping.
Yeah.
That's not going to change. But now I think I feel a little more free to like just like a song that we're gonna hear today is like, it's like pop, pretty much like 90s pop.
Mm.
um and I think before I was doing all these little like side projects and like posting it on Bandcamp on these separate accounts,
Yeah.
and now I'm just like, whatever I want to drop, I'm gonna drop it, and
Yeah.
whoever wants to listen, i'm I'm looking to attract like-minded people, like people who are interested in a lot of different genres, and they take different genres feed their souls in different ways. That's how
Yeah.
I am as a listener, and so I want people to be open to that availability with me as an artist.
Just to kind of transcend genre, just be whatever you feel like at the time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
tight. So you mentioned, we mentioned at the beginning, the Remyth, a postmodernist ritual. This is the book that it's a long process, but you finally got it published. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm holding my coffee.
Hey, there it is.
um, yeah. So I mean, this was actually my thesis for graduate school.
Mhm.
Um, so this is like a decade old. Like
Wow.
the contents of this is a decade old, um, but it's still very important to shaping who I've become now.
Mhm.
And the point, at least I went to Chapman University in the OC for grad school, and the goal of their MFA is that you walk out of there with a publishable thesis. So it's not like 100% where
Mhm.
it needs to be when you're done, but you have to defend it against your committee, and you walk out of there with something that you can start throwing out into the publishing world and see if
Mhm.
you can land it. And so this is largely untouched from when I published it, with Chapman and
Yeah.
defended it. Um, it it went through different iterations. Like I kind of did like compilation things here and there over the years where I would release it in tandem with like an album called Thrashed Out that I did in like
Mhm.
2013. I picked some poems that kind of were in alignment, and I made a zine. Like I had an
Mhm.
illustrator friend do some drawings, and we released some physical zines like that.
Yeah.
And then I also released an audiobook version of, again, like maybe half of the poems in here. I
Mm.
put that out as Fame Kills. Um, and then I was I was in a space with it where like it didn't feel like baggage necessarily, but it felt like something that I wanted to like put to rest in a way,
Yeah.
and like honor it in a very specific way. So the publisher and Landia Institute, they had a contest for the Hillary Gravendyke Prize, and it
Mhm.
was for um, um, new poets that have never had a book published before. And I was like, let me just shoot my shot right here.
Yeah.
If I get it, I get it. If not, it's cool. I'm ready to move on. So I threw it out there, and New Year's Eve 2018 into 2019, I think.
Yeah.
Either that or 20. No, I think it was, sorry, 2019. Like New Year's Eve 2019, I get the call like, "Hey, you're the regional winner." So there's a regional and national winner for
Yeah.
this. And I was like, "Wow, I can't believe this is happening." And so this was supposed to come out in 2020,
Mhm.
but obviously, you know,
Yeah.
with
2020.
COVID and everything, it pushed everything back. Um, but I mean, it's here now, and the timing is what it was meant to be. And so, like, I'm still in awe. Like,
Yeah.
this was this was a dream, like growing up, like to be a published author was a dream growing up, and now it's here, and I'm just grateful, man.
Yeah.
I'm just super grateful. People have been so warm about it, and like like all right, I got my issues with like Amazon.
Yeah. But you were a
That,
bestseller on Amazon. You were on number one
yeah,
on the
yeah,
list.
exactly. Yeah, I got to number one on the Hispanic American poetry new releases, and I was like, what? This is. I mean, I just wanted to get published, and now
Yeah.
I'm like climbing these charts and stuff. So that was super beautiful and really humbling. And yeah,
And
man. Now it's just a matter of treating the contents with care, like because like we said already, like this is a decade old. Like I'm not this person anymore.
yeah.
That I was trying to navigate through a lot of stuff in this, but I also don't want to dismiss it as like, you know what I mean, like I'm above it or
Yeah.
something like that. Like
Yeah.
I want to honor it, and so I'm excited to just keep pushing it and do readings, and I'm hoping that it is of utility to people that read it.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
I mean, I read it, and then it really there's a lot of things that I can relate to in it, and there's a lot of things where I'm like, yeah, like the world is messed up, like you know, like so there is like I think there's a little bit in all of us that can relate to parts of it of this book. You know, that we all feel that way, a certain way about, you know, pop culture or just ourselves. Even like there's a lot of self reflection. And you're going to be doing, it's a virtual book launch today, right, at 6 p.m. for the award. You had already mentioned the prize.
Yes. So later on today, we are having a virtual book launch. It'll be myself and Bronwyn Tate, who's the national winner. We have some of the people who wrote some of the authors that wrote blurbs on our books. We invited them to do some reading too. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be I think we're going to be doing like kind of a back and forth, kind of like a versus. Like she'll read, I'll read, she'll read. So yeah, all are welcome. There's still the link to register is still like on my Instagram Linktree, and it's like you said, 6 p.m. and I believe it's about an hour and a half.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's really exciting. The book is Remyth, a Postmodernist Ritual. I wanted to get an update on the zine. How's that going, the Por Vida?
Zine, honestly, it's like we had plans to do a spring issue, and life just kind of got the best of us. We are currently setting up our Halloween issue. We were born on Halloween in 2013, and so like that's one we can't miss. Like we love Halloween at Por Vida, so we're working on that, getting that together. I believe that's dropping on the 22nd of this month.
Nice.
And you know, we're just gonna keep having that platform for folks to practice the art of publishing and what it means to submit your work, get feedback, revision.
Yeah.
You know, just getting your writing and your art out there.
Yeah. I mean, and so just like how you worked so hard to get your book published, like this is being in this zine could be another step for somebody as well, like trying to get their work out there too.
Absolutely. That's the hope. That's the dream.
Yeah. Well, as somebody who's accomplished so much, I mean, you've published a book now, you've made countless albums. Like, what do you look forward to doing next?
I'm still, you know, I feel like that synthesis of everything is something that I'm always chasing after. Like at my day job, if you will, as an instructor at my college, I've been fortunate to meet some like-minded colleagues, and we've been able to set up a hip hop studies summit at my campus, and there's never been anything like it at our campus, at least. And we're going to be in our third year. Obviously, last year had to be virtual. This coming year is also going to have to be virtual. But nonetheless, it's been a pleasure to fuse those two cultures of academia and hip hop. And so, like, I'm on the committee, you know, to put it together. But I've also been fortunate to, like, my committee has asked me to perform on both occasions, because we feel like it's important for students to see, like, if they have aspirations to be an artist in whatever capacity, to see someone like them,
Yeah,
like, that's also their instructor, that can be very powerful. And
for
so
sure.
that's what's on my horizon, is just constantly figuring out ways of, like, how can I be authentic in all these different spaces and honor all of those different elements. So just pushing more, making more music. I'm sitting on like a dozen or so songs that are ready to go.
Yeah.
Um, I'm I'm in the fourth draft of another poetry collection. Yeah, man, just
Always making stuff, always building.
yeah.
So speaking of the music, you sent us a couple songs to play today. A preview of some future stuff. Is exclusive stuff to the Rodriguez show. Can you talk a little bit about those tracks?
Yeah. So one is called Past Life, parentheses head first. That one, it was, so I put an album out in 2020 called Icov, and it was very like 80s pop infused. And this one is sort of a continuation of that vibe, but talking more basically about that transition from the Fame Kills Life to Adam et al.
Nice.
And then the other one is Ease Into Us, and as I think I mentioned earlier, like, it's a very like a nod to like my love for 90s pop kind of love songs. Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to be free range and give myself less parameters to try things.
Well, it's exciting, and we're always excited to hear it. I'll mention the book one more time: Remyth, a Postmodernist Ritual. Adam et al. You can follow him on Instagram at adam.etal, and website adametal.soy. And there's links to that on screen and in the bio and everything. Thank you, man. It's always great to catch up to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Hey. All right, man. We'll see you next time, and hopefully in the studio, maybe at the end of this year, maybe next year, as soon as we can.
Yup, that's right.
All right, man. Thanks. We'll see you soon.